Okay, where do you begin? With a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, regardless of what time it is. I guess a good and respectful manner to start is with hello. We're reflecting on the hello as the starting point if I were to review this whole feature from beginning to end as the starting point of an expression of freedom, whereby these thoughts and these emotions have come into one state and are openly and honestly expressing these words that are currently featured within this feature. So, with that being said, if we were to explore the context or the idea of freedom, it's obviously an equal understanding that every person has a different description or perception or even expectation of what freedom might mean within this reality or within their own experiencing lives. Whereby if we had to truly explore the context of freedom, this could be relayed back to centuries and centuries of years ago. Whereby, this could be relayed onto the initial start of slavery, whereby there were masters and there were slaves, and it's obviously an equal understanding that the masters were in control of the slaves' lives. So the idea of freedom has always been to be able to freely live your life the way that you choose and to be who you are within this existing state. But within that logical context, if we had to explore that idea, could be reverted back onto the day that we are born into this world, where again we are born within a world and our parents are telling us that we are free to be who we are and to live the way that we want within this reality and within our own experiencing lives. But is that in a logical sense true? Again, for 0 to 18 years, our parents will have instructional guidelines, and again, if we don't follow those instructional guidelines, we will be punished for it. But in a logical sense, there is a bit of love into that. So it's the mere fact is that our freedom is somewhat contained for our own benefit. Again, they know us, or learning to know us, while we are learning to discover ourselves as an egotistical self within this reality. So it's obviously an equal understanding that their controlled environment is within their benefit for us. But again, we are not literally free. Again, if we had to explore the context of how we go to these schools, universities, colleges, all which are educational systems, it's equal understanding that most of these educational systems are saying that we are free to learn what we would like to learn. But is that in a realistic context, whereby if we are being graded on specific books or on certain matters or on certain subjects in an invalued state? This is literally in order for you to have some sort of qualification that says that you are able to know this knowledge. But again, even within the institution of schooling, we are associating ourselves with friends. In a logical sense, even friends, enemies, associates, strangers, you name it. But again, we are discovering ourselves within this egotistical state, and again we are coming to the stigmatized illusion that now our freedom is now determined on our clothing, on our materialistic value, financial value, our popularity status, and again we are forced into competition, whereby now we're not even just running a race on a racetrack or running a race on a racetrack. We are running a race in competition, whereby it's competing who's wearing the best brand, who's wearing the latest sneakers, who's wearing the best sunglasses, who's going to this event and who's going to that event. And again, we are attaching ourselves to our emotions, not even our thoughts, our emotions, onto these materialistic momentary values that are truly never going to define our freedom within this experiencing life. Whereby, is it ever going to truly define your freedom within this reality? If we had to look at that context, exploring the logical sense that if you had to come out of school and then you are now wanting to explore life, live the life that you want, it's obviously non-realistic, because now you have got corporations, organizations, and industries that are basically funding governmental whatever you want to call it, departments, in organizations, corporations, whatever, and they are again setting rules for you to obey. So again, you're not free, even within this reality. So again, now let's say that now you don't just have the burden of them. Then you get a job. Then again, your freedom is denied, because now basically you become a slave. Your employer is allowed to tell you when you're allowed to go eat, how many times you're allowed to go to the bathroom, when you can take off, how many sick days you can have. I mean, there's no, basically, there's literally no compassion, all in the name of profit, whereby again, the burden of all these governmental laws are also all in the name of profit. So, in the realistic context, our emotions are constantly being entrapped by these ideas of illusions of how we should basically describe ourselves or perceive ourselves, or even what is expected within this existing state. Whereby if we had to explore the idea of freedom, it's literally a beautiful experience. I mean, that would be releasing ourselves from all these burdens. This is why people go on holidays. This is why people go on like nature walks and all of this type of thing. I mean, just to get away from it. I mean, that is literally getting away from your everyday average life. I mean, why does life have to be like that? Your life was not meant to be this prison. I mean, basically, that's basically what reality has become like. It's become a prison. And if we had to just explore the context of releasing ourselves from this prison, releasing ourselves from these descriptions, perceptions, expectations of who says this and who says that, and what is this and what is that. I mean, freedom is only something that we can define within ourselves. We might describe it, other people might be able to describe it for us. But again, freedom is always going to be something that we can define only within ourselves. So in the logical context, if we had to explore the idea of freedom, peace, love, happiness, possibilities, creativity, I mean, this is what freedom is. I mean, literally, I mean, to love another person, I mean, that is exploring freedom. To have peace with another, that is exploring freedom. To be creative in your own mind and in your own emotions while you're expressing it in this physical state of existence, that is the idea of freedom. Even attaching yourself or attaching any type of emotion to a materialistic form of description or to an illusion-based reality is basically not freedom. I mean, that is entrapping your emotions again within this illusion of a description, a limited description. I mean, people are always going to be able to describe the idea of freedom. Freedom will always be able to be described in so many endless and vast but limited manners or ways, when again, it is without a description. It is without an expectation. Freedom is in the state of free. I mean, that's just being free. I mean, how much more beautiful? I mean, that could be like getting onto a field and just like running into the middle of nowhere, or just lunging into the ocean and just being free. I mean, it is possibly the most beautiful experience that we could ever possibly come to experience in this existing state, and it will never be able to be found within a description. We might think that we can buy tickets to go to these events. Of course, it's within a momentary state. Of course, once we're there, we might experience a state of freedom, but it's all just momentary. Everything is just momentary. I mean, the freedom isn't necessarily real. It's like the freedom that you purchase from going on a luxurious holiday. At one point, you're still going to come back and you're going to still have to face your everyday life. So, I mean, literally, you are just literally setting yourself free for a moment. that is not living a life of freedom. Freedom is, again, it's beautiful. It's undescribable. It's an experience within itself. It's an experience that only a person themselves can possibly experience in this existing state of existence. I won't even call it reality, because that is setting an existing state locked and trapped to an illusion, whereby even that life is free. Namaste.